what is green hydrogen policy and why it is called green hydrogen but not hydrogen? Green energy, which means the energy which is generated from natural resources such as sunlight, wind, water, etc. So the key with the energy sources is that they don't harm the environment through factors such as releasing greenhouse gases into atmosphere. That's why we call that energy as green energy. Now let's go to the hydrogen policy, which is green hydrogen policy. Central government notified that the green hydrogen and green ammonia policy aimed at boosting the domestic production of green hydrogen for about 5 million tons by 2030 and making India an export hub for the clean fuel. So what is green hydrogen? Green hydrogen is a hydrogen gas produced through electrolysis of water, which means an energy-intensive process for splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen using renewable power to achieve this. That's why it is called green hydrogen. But how is this policy set to boost the domestic production of green hydrogen production? So the new policy offers around 25 years of free power transmission for any renewable energy plants to set up the supply power of green hydrogen production before July 2025. This means that the green hydrogen producer will be able to set up a solar plant in Rajasthan to supply renewable energy to a green hydrogen plant in Assam, and also would not be required to pay any interstate transmission charges. The move is likely going to make it more economical for key users of hydrogen and ammonia such as the oil refining, fertilizer and steel sectors to produce green hydrogen for their own use. These sectors currently use hydrogen, that is grey hydrogen, and grey ammonia using natural gas or naphtha. What are the incentives? The government is set to provide a single portal for all the clearances required for setting up a green hydrogen production, as well as a facility to provide to the producers to bunk any surplus renewable energy generated with the discoms for about 30 days and use it as it is required. The requirement of time-bound clearances for these projects would spur investment, while grid connectivity on the priority will ease the operational process. So the Power Ministry has also said that energy plants to set up to produce green hydrogen or ammonia would be given connectivity to the grid on the priority basis. Power distribution companies may also produce renewable energy to supply green hydrogen producers, but will be required to do so at the concessional rate, which will only include the cost of procurement, wheeling charges and also small margin as determined by the State Commission under this new policy. Such procurement would also count towards the State Renewable Purchase Obligation, which is RPO, under which it is required to produce a certain proportion of its requirement from the renewable energy sources. So what are the facilities to boost export of green hydrogen and ammonia? Under this particular policy, port authorities will also provide land at applicable charges to the green hydrogen and green ammonia producers to set up the bunks near the ports prior to export. The government is set to come out with mandates requiring that the oil refining, fertilizers and steel sectors produce green hydrogen and green ammonia for certain proportion of the requirements, for the country to emerge as an export hub for the green hydrogen and green ammonia. So firstly, what is green hydrogen? What is green energy? Green energy is the energy that is generated from natural resources such as sunlight, wind, water. So the key with these energy resources are that they don't harm the environment through factors such as releasing greenhouse gases into atmosphere. So these factors, that is green energy, do not harm environment. That's why it is called green energy. Let's go to the green hydrogen policy. So green hydrogen policy, that is National Green Hydrogen Policy, waive the power transmission charges for 25 years for these units, allow them to buy renewable power for the exchange of their own unit and bank unconsumed renewable power for up to 30 days with the power distribution companies. Much awaited National Green Hydrogen Policy introduced as a part of the government's energy transition plan. The objective is to reduce fossil fuel usage and increase the penetration of green fuels. This policy will help in the production of around 5 million tons of green energy, that is green hydrogen, by 2030. What is green hydrogen? Firstly, a green hydrogen is produced using renewable energy and electrolysis to split water, and it is distinct from grey hydrogen, which is produced from methane and releases greenhouses into atmosphere, and blue hydrogen, which captures those emissions and stores them underground to prevent them from causing climate change. So the International Energy Agency has also noted that green hydrogen would save the world from 830 million tons of carbon dioxide that are emitted annually, as this gas is produced using fossil fuels. So what does the National Green Hydrogen Policy states? So this policy provides several incentives for the manufacturers, consumers and green hydrogen and green ammonia. Under this policy, companies will have the liberty to set up the capacity to generate electricity from renewable sources such as solar, wind, wherein anywhere in the country by themselves or through a developer. The electricity will be allowed to be wheeled free of cost through open access of the transmission grid to the plant where hydrogen is to be produced. The government will also allow banking and storage of excess green hydrogen produced by any company for up to 30 days in case of capacities that are set up before 2025. The Power Ministry has also waived the power transmission charges for the 25 years for those units, allowed them to buy the renewable power from the exchanges of their own until, and allowed these companies to bank unconsumed renewable power up to 30 days with the power distribution company, that is discoms. These companies will be provided open access within the 15 days of application. This means that the green hydrogen producer will be able to set up a solar power plant in Rajasthan to supply the renewable energy to a green hydrogen plant in Assam, and would not be required to pay any interstate transmission charges. What aim will the policy serve? The policy is a part of the mission to cut down the India's greenhouse gas emissions. It is also aimed towards meeting the climate targets and making India a green hydrogen hub. The implementation of the policy would provide a clean fuel to the common people of the country, so this will reduce the dependence of the fossil fuel and also reduce the crude oil imports. The objective also is for the country to emerge as an export hub for the green hydrogen and green ammonia.